Hi, I'm Al in SoCal. I'm reviewing the Good AAA power bank. This one, interestingly, breaking not the sound barrier, but maybe the power barrier in power banks. It's rated at 30,000 milliampere hours. For those with an electrical background, electronics, it's a 30 ampere hour power supply. That's the way I look at it. And that's the other thing I wanted to get across today. On all of the power banks that I own, most of them, up until I'd say the last month and a half, have been under 10,000 milliampere hour capacity. So along comes these new power banks, to me somewhat new, in that they're rated at 10,000 and up. There was the 10,000 milliampere hour capacity range. Then it went to 20s, and now it's into the 30s. There are a couple of new features that have been added for the power banks in the very high 20,000 milliampere hour region, so to speak. We've now got wireless charging, which is pretty nifty. So you can not only power by cable, you can also wirelessly charge your phones, which is primarily what most people are doing, right? So anyway, the three items on the table. The one in the middle, of course, is the Good AAA. It's rated at 30 ampere hour capacity. And I'm going to explain these two right now, along with this one, in a cost per ampere hour pricing. Cost per ampere hour. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know about you guys, I'm not swayed by some of the accessory items that are being thrown into these. I like to decentralize my tools. So, a Swiss Army knife in electrical accessories, when you've got like multi-function, sometimes if one element dies, it can take some other elements with it or disable the entire unit. And so that's why when I mention decentralization, I'm talking about taking the solar panels. I'd rather have just a simple power bank, have all that technology in a power bank. I don't need a compass. I don't need a flashlight. And as far as solar cell, I'd rather have my independent solar cell bank, which produces much more power. And it's not, let's say, confused in its design and build with a bunch of other stuff thrown in. My opinion. So, starting at one of the first larger power banks I ever reviewed, this one is from an Amazon vendor. It originally sold for $27. It was a 10,000 milliampere hour supply, or 10 ampere hour supply. $27 per 10 ampere hour tells me that I can rate this as a $2.70 per ampere hour power bank. Okay? You get to the middle one, the one I'm reviewing today. This one sells for, let's see, it sells for $40, and it's a 30 ampere hour capacity. So this goes at $1.33 per ampere hour. So we've gone from $2.70 a few months ago down to $1.33 per ampere hour. And this one, of course, includes, because everybody talks about it, the three built-in cables. Again, it's a nice thing to have for doing close charging. I don't need extra cables. But frankly, even if they took the cabling away and this little single panel solar cell, which really is not producing a lot, and in fact, if you're in a low sun area or if it's winter, you'd need more than this to garner enough power to help you out if you were really that stranded. Then we get to the other good AAA device that I reviewed about a month ago. Now this one's interesting. This one is the good AAA. It currently sells for $50. Yes, 50. It's 26.8 ampere hour capacity, 26,800 milliampere hour capacity, which isn't as much as this at 30. But you know, when they give me specs on these products, I take it with a grain of salt. So I'd say these are very close. So I'm going from, in this case, $40. For $10 more, what am I getting? Here's what I like about this one. First of all, you see that circle, you know what that is. That's wireless charging. This unit doesn't have wireless charging, although I saw a reviewer where their review ended up on the very same page as the item I'm reviewing, and they were talking about wireless charging. I think that's a function within Amazon, I'm not sure, where some items that are either discontinued or from a similar vendor can end up on the same review page. So this one doesn't have wireless. This one at $50, 26.8 ampere hour capacity, wireless charging. And here, this is what I'm talking about. If you're going to go solar, here's a 4-panel. That's 4 times the panel area of this one. And I'm presuming just by looking at the panels side by side, they're identical panels. So the manufacturer, in my opinion, has taken the single panel. In this case, they used the panel within the unit and added 3 more. So that to me makes sense. Now, if there is any kind of solar energy out there or light energy, I'm going to multiply whatever I'm pulling in by 4 instead of by 1, which is where we are with this one. Now, and this is nifty because it folds up and just snaps together. I had to put this in myself, that little label, because most of these units with the black rubber casing and so forth, it's really hard to read all of the integrated molded icons for power on, power off, etc. So I've had to doctor up not just this one, I've done it to some others. So this was $1.87, $1.33, and $2.70 per ampere hour. My point is this: when I'm shopping for power banks now, again, I could care less about a compass in my power bank. Every one of them takes advantage of the flashlight or light capability. This one, now see, I can't even remember how the light came on. There it is. It's, by the way, it's controlled by a single push button here. But the point is, I've got so many LED flashlights for camping and for being out in the middle of nowhere. I could care less. All I care about nowadays, let me see, I think it was a long push to shut it off, or maybe just tapping it. Oh yeah, this is the one that went through an SOS signal, which, by the way, is a communications guy with an FCC license. The Morse code was off. So, I don't know. I'm buying by cost per ampere hour. And right now, this at 30,000 milliamperes or 30 ampere hour capacity, I'm looking at $1.87. I will tell you, I did some comparative pricing on this particular power bank. And you know, this happens quite often. Amazon comparative item that you'll see when you go to the vendor page for this item, 32.8 ampere hour or 32,800 milliampere hours with wireless charging. Okay, with wireless charging, it's available now for $48. You're going to have to look on your own. I don't want to confuse this reviewed item, but you need to keep your eyes open, because if you like wireless charging, this doesn't have it. You might want to do some price shopping and feature shopping The feature that appealed to me in this one was wireless and 4-bank solar cell or 4-panel solar cell. I really like this because it's closer to being just a pure power bank, although it's got, I believe it's got the it's got the flashlight thing going on, and then the built-in cables. So that adds value, but you just have to make your own choice as to what you want to look for and what you're going to buy. For me, I think it's, given it's a good AAA brand item, and I know they've put out multiple items, I have a little more faith in this vendor. I'm giving it 5 stars.